Hello and welcome, my global Jamaicanomics collective. I hope you're doing well today. This is Lady Elizabeth, founder of the Jamaicanomics Hub. And today we're going to start a new series. We're talking about the Skilled Rebellion series. This is what the series is going to be called: Rebuilding the Caribbean Mind, Money, and Movement. Now, let's get right into the video, shall we? All right, then. So, Revolution, my Jamaicanomics Global Collective, is not, it's easy to clap for, but very, very painful to live through. And I have gone through it in terms of getting my skills to put me back in a place as a 64-year-old woman. And I'm talking to you today based on my experiences. Now, everybody loves to shout rebellion. Everybody can talk about it. That's easy. But nobody talks about the hunger, the confusion, the isolation, the sacrifice that comes with it. Revolution is easy to clap for than to live through. Sam Sharp did it. And right now, my global Jamaicanomics diaspora, people are living, a lot of Caribbean black people are living through some serious category 5 storms. They're living through something that we have never ever seen before. And we don't actually have a language for it because I think it's more than a category 5. I think it's more like a category 10 because Melissa came as a category 5, and it's the most damaging storm between Jamaica and the rest of the Caribbean, right? Who received it? But let us pause for a moment and think about what Melissa actually opened up to us. What Hurricane Melissa as a category 5 revealed to us, right? Here's what I think. This is my opinion, and I'm just presenting it to you. The colonizer may not be holding the whip over us anymore, but their grandchildren are collecting the profits. They're collecting the checks from our trauma. And I'm going to prove to you why they're doing that. In the hotel industry, do you realize that 90% of that income leaves Jamaica? Only 10% stays in Jamaica. Only 10% stay in the global Caribbean nation because the majority of the hotels in Jamaica and Bahamas and Barbados and all the different Caribbean countries are owned by foreign interest and their families. So that money still goes back to building England, building Canada, building the United States of America, and any other country that the colonizers came from in Europe, Sweden, um, 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 Dutch, any one of the Caribbean nations. When you hear the language, France, yeah. So, how did they normalize our suffering and call it culture? When you look at how Bob Marley, you listen to the words of Bob Marley, right? And how Bob Marley was talking about how driven from the mainland. These are his words, right? From the to the heart of the Caribbean. He didn't say we voluntarily came, right? He said we were what? We were driven from the mainland. So now our enslaved African struggle has now become the wealth of the colonizer. The reggae music, it came out of struggle. Our enslaved Africans, the patois that everybody is loving now that they put down, it came out of struggle. Listen to the words of most of our reggae artists. Listen to how Jamaicans, specifically Jamaicans, talk. Not now, guan. Time's hard, man. The money now run. Then wait a minute. Then why does the Chinese have so many shops and literally so many different corners of Jamaica? So you think that the Chinese are stupid when they have, you think they're stupid? You're saying money now run, but money sure is running in Jamaica. And money is running in the Bahamas. Why do you have Butch Stewart, who was a white Jamaican man, born in a Jamaica, right? Have what you call it? What, couples? Is it couples that he started? Couples, Bahamas, wherever. He started it. So how come we are something is wrong there when we're talking about money in our run? Listen to me, man. Revolution, my people, is not trending right now. Revolution is not viral. Revolution is lonely. It starts in the mind. Revolution disrupts families, comfort, habits, and thinking. This is what Sam Sharp fought for. Let me explain something to you, my global Jamaicanomics collective. They taught us to clap for freedom, but never trained us about how to live free. After emancipation, let me explain to you what happened. No emotional rehabilitation happened. None. No economic repair, no financial repair happened. Tell me which church in Jamaica or which school in Jamaica right now or any of the Caribbean schools. I want you to put it in the chat. That's teaching financial literacy to Jamaicans and the global Jamaican collective as a whole. I want you to put it in the chat because I did research, and when I was growing up I didn't see it. Whatever I learned about finances that I just came into, it's my dad who taught me. And you know how my dad got it? When he came to America, let me tell you how he got it. When he came to America to work on they have what is called farm work. He sat and he said, Elizabeth, this is how I learned when I came back to Jamaica to farm and start selling to the hotels in Ocho Rios. And my father farmed, and he didn't have a vehicle. My father, with his skinny frame, would, and people in the community would see it, he would have massive bags of cabbage on his back. I saw my father, and he walked all the way down to a place called Woods to catch the bus to go to Ocho Rios in early in the morning to bring that cabbage to the hotels who needed it. And he would go back and forth all day with no transportation except public transportation. I see him do it. And other people that live close to us saw him do it too. They saw him plant over an acre or two of cabbage. So there was no economic repair. There was no emotional rehabilitation. There was no psychological repair. No land repair. No trauma repair. So what happened now? It becomes inherited. Do you realize in the Bible God talk about repairing the breach? Be not conformed to this world, but be transformed, my Jamaicanomics Global Collective, be transformed by the renewing of our mind. Renewing your mind is repair. Let me explain something to you. Why they still want us confused. And they're not bad people. They're just strategic and smart. I'm not saying anything to you. And you think it's they're holding up something against you. No, they're not. It's all about economics, my dear. It's not about the color of your skin, it's about economics. Why they want to confuse you? Confused people don't organize. Colonized minds do not organize. You come online and I'm listening to people on Facebook, I'm listening on YouTube, and all you're talking about is this one being with this one, and how this I want to talk about that one, and how this one, I only expect to get wealthy. No wonder as a culture we so broke. And when I say broke, me no mean say we now work decent income. Me I talk about proper money management and investment skills, the art of money management, the art of skill. Listen to me. If we're going to come out of this situation with Melissa and all the other category 5 storms that Melissa exposed, the economic ones, the mental ones, the emotional ones, the family ones, we got to understand we have got to start what is called a skilled rebellion. Divided people don't build, emotionally dysregulated people don't plan. You can't because you can't see it. Your mind is still tied up. Here is something I want to say to you, the colonizer. They don't have to do anything. Here is what they're saying in their minds. And they're not telling you. If I can keep you angry and I can keep you fighting at the lowest level, which is the physical work, you won't think. If I can keep you fighting each other, you won't fight. You will not fight the systems. They want black men versus black women. They want the church versus the church. You know, the Pentecostal church versus the Church of God versus the Seventh day Adventist versus the Baptist versus the Methodist versus the Catholic versus the Anglican. That's what they want. Tell me, my global Jamaicanomics people, how far has it gotten you? Tell me about the farmers in Jamaica that I just saw recently that aggressively plant, what was it, pumpkin and bok choy without a plan. The pumpkin, them nobody to sell it to because you're only looking at it from one way. That's what I'm talking about. Skilled rebellion, baby. They want diaspora, black American people to go against African and African to go against Caribbean thing. But because they don't want us united, because they know that if we get united, it's global dominion. And it's not against anybody, but it's time for us to get out of the colonized mindset. And I don't care what age you are, as long as you're healthy and you can get your back foot up and walk, it's time for us to get moving in the right direction. Some people is good in technology. Some people good at working the fields. Some people good, but we have to get out of this because unity threatens profit, and they're making billions from the Caribbean beach tourism. Billions, not millions. Did he hear said? Did he hear said millions? No, billions. What if you could get back 40% of that pie? They still would be extremely wealthy. You're not stealing nothing from them. God created you to get a piece. Let me say something to you. You know, Dr. Miles Monroe, God bless his soul, before he died, he talked about kingdom economics. And that's why I used to listen to him a lot, because some of the things he was teaching shook me. And when he went to the scripture, I said, that's in the Bible? You hear what he said? He said if the wealth was supposed to if the wealth was ever redistributed globally, everybody in the world could get $20 million. That shook me. And this was this was back in 2012. So that is now 14 years ago. 14 years ago, my people. He said that. So the colonizer still profits from. Let me tell you what the colonizer profit from. You see those children that they show in Africa with the flies, which most of it is a costed lie. You know what? Let me tell you. Let me just break it down for you plainly. What they're still profiting from. It's gonna shock you. Cheap labor. They got free labor. 400 years of free labor in America, the Caribbean. Free labor. Trauma therapy industries. They're profiting off of you. And we haven't even addressed trauma yet and the amount of money. Why can't you become a trauma therapist? Why? Skill, welfare cycles, prison systems, music glorifying violence. I think one time I heard that the church, or some people in Jamaica specifically, was calling on the dance hall thing to stop singing that kind of music because it's messing up the young people's mind. Tourism without ownership. You're going there washing the dishes, cleaning the toilet, spreading the bed, doing this grinning back and forth. Am I saying you ought not to be nice? But you could use that same um cleaning the toilet, all the stuff that you see, and turn it into a business. Make it into your skill because a lot of people clean so well. I used to want a cleaning business. I have clients right now that I clean for occasionally, not as much before COVID-19 took a lot of my clients and they got much older anyway, and some of them died. But the fact is that you can take that and turn it into a skill because so many tourists now and so many people that come from England and America and Russia living in Jamaica and they don't want to clean their house. But you're not thinking business minded, you're not thinking wealth. When you begin to think that, it changed. All right. So our pain currently is someone else's pension, is someone else's profit. Why don't you make your pain into your profit? Why don't you sit down and let me help you to craft your vision so you can begin to see and pull out things out of you that you never knew you had? The colonizers, let me say this, my Jamaicanomics Global Caribbean People Collective. I notice how I emphasize that because I'm serious about it. The colonizers' grandchildren don't hate us. They love us because we're ignorant. They just need us to stay broken because it's only broken people can continue to make other people wealthy. Make the colonizers' grandchildren wealthy. How many generations, my Global Jamaicanomics Collective, are you going to allow to continue this? Even with even with 3% of the global Caribbean getting wealthy, you can't even dent the wealth that's in the colonizers' pocket. They know it. There's enough for everyone. So here is where what real revolution look like. Can I tell you what real revolution look like? Because it's not demonstrating on the street. It's not burning down no buildings. It's not burning down no hotel. Honey, we out of that. That's gone. That's 15, 20, 30 years ago. That's gone. Let me tell you what real rebellion looks like. One, learning systems, owning skills, controlling the narrative and changing it, teaching our young people and educating them to come out of mental slavery, emotional regulation. I talk about it in another video. Anger, all that foolishness. Get out of that garbage. Get out of being offended over every little stupid thing. Even Jesus himself said we're going to get offended. Financial literacy in our school systems, in our church, land awareness. Let me say something to you. You want to see our young people start coming back to church, start teaching them the financial literacy that Jesus taught on this earth. Land awareness, what to do with land, not just have land sitting. A lot of us have land sitting down, not doing nothing with it. Cultural confidence, linguistic learning. And that is just, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is just 9. I could sit down and tell you 100, but I want your mind to be thinking about what you need to do. Let me say something, my Global Jamaicanomics Collective. This is why the Jamaicanomics Hub exists. Rebellion without skill is noise. You can talk all you want and nobody gives a back foot. Skill without rebellion is fear. But skilled rebellion builds nations. Put it in the chat. Skilled rebellion build nations. Here is my call to action. This is why Jamaicanomics Hub exists. It exists to help you, it's not perfect, to restore and rebuild your thinking, to raise a skilled generation, and to skill the current generation is who wants to get skilled. We're not forcing nobody. Can I say this to you, my Global Jamaicanomics Collective? I'm talking to the whole Caribbean nation now, not just Jamaica. Not just Jamaica. If less than 3%, if 3% of the global Caribbean out of 45, I think we are 45 to 47 million people now. If less than 3%, I tell you, I don't want the 97% who are disobedient, who are offended, who are angry, who want to just work physical labor. Because it's time for you to begin to use your mouth and your mind and your heart to develop your skill. And every one of us have a different skill, right? Let me explain something to you. Let me explain something to you. Begin to get skilled. This is why Jamaicanomics exists, to restore the vision, rebuild your thinking, and raise a skill generation. If this resonates with you, here is what I did. I have put together, and I'm putting together what is called a Jamaicanomics Rebuilders Guide. You have to pre-order it. It's not ready yet. It has to be pre-ordered, yes, because I have to take time to work on it. That's how powerful it will be to begin to start. Right? Pre-order it. And with that, my Jamaicanomics Global Collective, here's what you're going to get. You're going to get 2 quick start guide. Number 1, the other one is going to build clarity. It's going to help you to begin to get direction. It's going to help you to set a vision as to where you want to go. How are you going to help to build a global Caribbean set of nations that's going to win? You begin to build your nation first. If you're Jamaican, build Jamaica. If you're Bahamian, build Bahamas. If you are Guyanese, build Guyana. If you wherever. And I don't want you coming in the chat and tell me, oh, Guyana is not a part of the Caribbean. I couldn't care less. Guyana is still a part of the Caribbean. They practice Caribbean culture. Stop. And the people also went through colonization too. So we don't listen to me, man. Stop. You have Jamaicans, Caribbean people all over the world. They're in Canada, they're in England, they're in America, they're in Australia. Send the message to them. Send this video to them. Because you all know that something is wrong. So let me explain it to you, because I don't want to go off the deep end, because I'm about to preach and I don't want to do that. I don't want to make it too long. Clarity and direction. That's one of the free downloadables. And vision. Number 2, mindset reset checklist. Because you guys, the mindset is, I'm telling you, the amount of work I put into my mindset is very critical. Because if your mindset can't change, the Bible said, be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by what? The renewing of your mind. The renewing of your mind, my people. Right? And then what I want you to do, just because I know a lot of you need some help, encouragement, about mindset growth, a thought-provoking conversation, click the link and join my Facebook page. For right now, it's free. Join the conversation, and it will help you to rebuild from the inside out. Because the only way the global Caribbean is going to lift themselves up is all of us have to build from the ground up, from the foundation first. And unless the Lord builds a house, the labor is in vain. Thank you so much for allowing me to share. Thank you for listening to me. And if any one of this resonates with you, do what Michael Jackson says. Go look at the mirror. Look at the man or the woman in the mirror and make a change. Because if we're going to change the trajectory of the Caribbean, if we're going to change the trajectory of our individual nations, like how I come on here, I'm from Jamaica, then guess what we're going to have to do? Look at the woman in the mirror. That's what I did. I looked at me and I said, Elizabeth, what do you need to do? Do not ever let your teeth dictate what you need to do, because your teeth does not dictate what's in your mind. Your teeth does not dictate what's in your head. Your teeth does not dictate what comes out of your mouth. So thank you guys for allowing me to share. I appreciate you. If this video resonates with you, subscribe to the channel. Let's build this to a global stage where we become a force to reckon with. Let's rebel with our skills. Let's develop our skills. No more marching on the streets. Send this to a Caribbean brother or sister. And let's join this global collective. Let's build together. God bless you. Thank you so much for allowing me to share. And I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.